Hey guys, it's John the Vintage Geek, and I'm back coming inside, or, inviting you inside the Vintage Geek's toy room. And I love retro games as well. Any retro board game that I find at a thrift store, I will buy. And there's my small collection there. So the last couple days, I know I've been silent, but I have been collecting. I got the GameStop exclusive Luke Skywalker from the comic books, and they gave me that awesome Mandalorian pin. I got Jaina, I got C-3PO with bandolier and the gun and that little dude, and I got Wedge, and I think today we're going to have to open Wedge. Those other three guys we will open over the weekend, so as the weekend progresses, you will see those guys get opened. Wedge is number 102. 102 Wedge. We got the Disney logo on the bottom, Hasbro. And here we go. Wedge Antilles, in 5 languages here. A talented young rebel pilot from Corellia, Wedge Antilles survived the attack on the first Death Star to become a respected veteran of Rogue Squadron. Yeah. Wedge was like that character that I noticed. He was one of the first characters in Star Wars or in any movie franchise that I actually took notice of. I was like, wait a minute. He lived through the first movie. He was in the snow area Hoth battle, the second movie, and he was in the third movie in Return of the Jedi. So it was like an unsung hero, someone in the background that just continued throughout the series, which was so cool. I thought it was such an awesome idea to do, and it just kept that continuity there, So showing off his weapon, his gun, the standard Rebel blaster, and the nice helmet. The helmet has a lot of detail there. Here's the figure himself, Wedge Antilles. He looks like distressed, like the outfit is distressed, which is really cool. Nice paint app on the control unit on the front. The breather, is that a breather unit? I don't know. Good straps, lots of detail on the boots here. X-Wing pilot version of the orange pilot suit. It's not to be confused with the Hoth battle version, which is slightly thicker and has different boots. Maybe even different gloves if I remember correctly. So he does have double jointed knee joints here. So standard to Black Series. All of his joints are standard to Black Series except for that. The elbows are a single joint. It's just a single jointed elbow. But otherwise he's got all the standard Black Series joints. To me this looks to be exactly the same body as Luke Skywalker X-Wing pilot. All they really did is pop a different head on there. And that's kind of my feeling here. We'll check that in a minute. We'll put them side. We'll get the Luke out and put them side by side just to verify. I'm going to give you a couple good looks here of Wedge in a couple different poses. He can hang on to his helmet if you prefer. This is a pretty good pose, like a ready position. He's waiting. He's at the briefing, hanging on to his helmet, getting ready to go. I wish the gun had a place to go, like a holster or some kind of spot. I know that isn't standard on these uniforms, but it still would have been nice to have a place to put the weapon when you don't want it in his hands. But unfortunately, there's nowhere to put that. So you got to either hang on to it or set it aside. So yeah, like I said, Wedge was just one of those characters that I realized, at a young age, I was like, wow, there's a background character in this series that made it through 3 movies. And, and you can actually see him step up in the ranks because he becomes the leader of the squadron by Return of the Jedi. Isn't that right? And I think he leads Red Squad in Return of the Jedi. Isn't that right? If I remember right. I don't know if I might have that wrong. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong there. But I feel like that's true. And, yeah. So it was just a pretty cool idea to see a background character continue on. Kind of like, Admiral Piet, you know what I mean? He gets promoted and then you see him again in Return of the Jedi in command of that giant Imperial Star Destroyer, Darth Vader's, right? You know, so you've got these background characters or secondary, tertiary characters that continue on, and it just gives that continuity in the stories. And I think that was like a first. It was the first time I saw something like that, and first time I really noticed it as a kid. And I know that things since then have done that, where tertiary, secondary, background characters continue on. But this was the first time I'd seen it in a film series, you know, when I was young. So here's Wedge next to the small 3.75-inch Wedge figure. This is the Hoth version, though, the 3.75 inches from Hoth. So it is slightly different. Like in this case, he does have different boots and different gloves. But I don't know if that's just the choices they made or what. And here he is next to the Luke Skywalker 6-inch. And you can tell right away that they pretty much are the same exact body. Just popped a new head on there. Popped a different head on. And became Wedge. So we'll do some close-ups here. We'll get some good detail looks at him. I think the paint app is better on Wedge than it is on Luke. But that's about the only difference. You know, otherwise they're pretty much identical. They even have the same distressed costume. So that's pretty cool. Get you some looks here at the side. Check this guy out. Pretty cool. That helmet is just really nice. I like that helmet a lot. But yeah, I mean, those are the exact same arms. You know what I mean? They're the same legs, same arms. So I think the body's the same also. It's just, they really did just pop a new head on. But I don't care, you know. And let's do it with Biggs also. Give me a Biggs. And, you know, just make a new head sculpt and a new helmet and pop Biggs' head on there and give me a Biggs. I would be fine with that too. You know. Well, there you go, guys. Wedge Antilles 6-inch Black Series. You know, if you guys like toys, I'm going to say it again. This is the channel for you. So I'd really appreciate a sub. And you guys can follow along as I get new stuff in. You're going to be seeing it. Because I review all kinds of toys. I love toys. And if you love toys, then this is the channel for you. I get everything in. I mean, my collection spans from the 60s all the way up to what came out last week. So anything that comes into my toy room, I'm going to give you guys a quick look at here on the channel. So, yeah, I mean, if you like that kind of stuff too, then you might want to subscribe. All right, I appreciate it. Have a good weekend, guys. And as the weekend progresses, I'm going to do those other figures I managed to snag this week. So you'll see a lot more Star Wars coming up as the weekend progresses. All right, see you guys later. Thanks. Bye-bye. Mandalorian was awesome.